I love you, but be so for real. You cannot retire off some random life insurance policy that you found from somebody on TikTok that you didn't even know. People are trying to get policies for their kids so they can get a down payment on a house with no financial planner, no nothing. That's not how it works. You got to talk with somebody who's going to put this stuff in plain English for us, because it don't really matter how many little books we read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That don't mean you understand life insurance, okay? It just does not. So
100%.
today we have a guest, an actual life insurance broker.
Yes.
Okay. A professional who's been doing it for 8 years. 8 years, right?
Yes.
Hari. And on top of being a life insurance broker, she's also a certified yoga teacher trainer, a mother, and an advocate for Black people in their community in healing, growth, and health. Pew, pew, pew.
Woo.
Welcome. Is there anything in your bio intro that you feel like I missed that you're like,
You know what you missed?
this? What?
I'm a chef.
I did miss that. And she could cook. She could like take anything in your refrigerator, freezer, and make some stuff out. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm like, how did I miss that? Because
She seen me do it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've tasted it. I've benefited from it. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Welcome. Thanks for coming.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I know you do life insurance, but I never actually asked, like, what is your day-to-day like as a broker?
So, as a broker, speed up past like the whole morning stuff. When I get started for the day at work, I am checking emails, responding to emails, sending emails, figuring out which clients I need to call and we need to follow up to get them this $1 million approval. What underwriting I need to be talking to share whatever information, doing all of the behind the scene works to make sure I get the approvals for my clients on these policies because they're huge and they're always so grateful. So for me, that just like gives me like this boost. Like, and I start the day with approval emails to begin with. So that's the first thing. So then I'm calling like, congratulations, you got your approval. Okay, we need to do this, do that to keep going, figure it out the next thing. And after that, then I'm just constantly making calls. It's all just calls, laptop.
To help people make sure they're moving along in their life insurance, like getting their policy.
Getting that policy. Yes, because you have to be approved, first of all. So that is the number one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and they like put it off like, I'll do it. And then they don't get approved because they've waited too long to do it. So yeah, when I sit down with somebody and they express interest, I do everything to like get it cleared. Then they come with their like sister, cousin, auntie, uncles, cousins, and nieces and nephews that need some too. So like it's just keeping that tree and making sure everything is checked off so that I can keep moving. That's life insurance. We keep moving. That momentum, once you get it, you keep it going.
Okay, so it's a momentum thing. So you've mentioned to me before that your main priority is serving your community, specifically communities of color in the Chicago area. How does life insurance help our communities?
In so many ways. So number one, I did not know about life insurance since I was like 23, 24, something like that. And once I found out, I was upset that like it had not been a conversation that had been being had within my family. And I won't say like my grandma didn't take care of it because I come to find out she did. But like we needed to know what was going on because had she passed, we wouldn't have known that she had these things and that she even knew about these things. Like the education needs to start so much sooner. Because when that person, that breadwinner of the family passes, who's keeping the family going financially? Especially if, think about this, you didn't get the time to educate your children on financial, the whole everything financial, saving, I know that's a huge thing. People are living check to check, not knowing like that saving even exists.
Mm-hmm.
So same with life insurance. They don't know it exists. When a person dies, you can get $1 million. If you had not ever even seen $100,000, to receive a check for $1 million is going to change the trajectory of so many things within a family, a community. If you are a small business owner and you have your little mom and pop shop and then the owner dies, then what? The business has to get shut down. But if you have a life insurance policy, it's going to keep things going. It's going to give a peace of mind so that, yes, we're mourning, but we just got this huge check that's going to allow us to elevate whatever the small business was and keep it going.
Or just even at a minimum keep it going.
At a
Because
minimum,
I
keep it
know,
going.
like, a
Yeah.
lot of times, a lot of family owned businesses, when the older person who started it dies, it closes down. Like, I even saw that happen in the neighborhood I grew up in. It was like a 7-Eleven. It was family owned. I've seen it there like my whole life, but then the dad died and they had to close it down and sell it back to like the bigger overall 7-Eleven franchise because it wasn't really.
That's disheartening because you just think about how much work went into them accomplishing it.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure they had a goal of passing it down to their children and their grandchildren and so forth. When you
Yeah.
see businesses that say like established in 1910, like how did that keep going to today
Mhm.
and grow?
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line something was done, and it's not, yes, you can't retire off life insurance. It's not a retirement vehicle.
Correct. Yeah, it's not that it's not valuable, it's that you have to know what you're getting it for, and
Mm-hmm.
what it's about to save for, because it's not, you're not getting it so that you can retire early.
No.
I think that's a big misconception in the Black community, not just with life insurance, but with a lot of things like stocks, even, and cryptocurrency and all that. Is like, oh, if I just put money away into these funds, stocks, life insurance, I'm going to be able to retire earlier. I'm going to be all set. But the thing is, it takes money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to put away the right amount to where you still have enough capital and cash on hand so that you can use it flexibly. So it's not just like put all your money in life insurance, put all your money in stocks, put all your money in your 401k. It's like you have to have a strategy behind how you're doing it. Um, so then you also mentioned like people don't know that their kids can even have life insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
What is the importance? Why do you think everyone's kids should have it, or do you think it's like a case by case basis?
Do you think the person whose child got hit by a car and they died, they knew that that was going to happen?
No.
The people who children are like getting diagnosed with cancer, did they know that was going to happen? When you have a child, you're just like excited for all of the positive things, like seeing them, have their first school recital or high school graduation, going off to college. Like you're thinking about like all of these little milestone things that become bigger milestone things, but you're never thinking about the inevitable. So at day 15, for me and my children, I make sure they had life insurance policy. My children are no older than 12 and they each have 3 policies. So something that people don't know is that when you retire, you should probably have about 3 to 5 life insurance policies. And that's because at every milestone in your life, having a kid, purchasing a home, whatever assets you get, you want to make sure you have enough insurance to keep it and protect it.
Mhm.
So from there, you make sure you have that coverage. Not only that, there are different life insurances and they do different things. So yes, there has to be a strategy behind what policy am I getting, when am I getting this next policy, and what do I want to have in the end.
So you also have to be clear about what your goal is.
So that's why you have a broker, an agent. You have
Mhm.
me. And we talk about those things. I become a part of your family. So when you do have a new child, I'm making sure that that child is covered. And if something was to happen, they can still have the life you would want them to have, go to college paid for, as if you were still there.
Mhm.
because we don't know. We don't know what day we're not going to be able to do it anymore for them.
Mhm.
So yes, it's all proper preparation, proper planning.
So, speaking of the different types of plans, I looked up some popular questions that people be asking on Twitter and on threads on social media with life insurance, because I feel like you have different ends of the spectrum. You have people who are saying you have to have life insurance, it's a non negotiable, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the people who are like, life insurance is a scam, don't do it, it's just a way for people to make money. So, I wanted to pull from social media to make sure that I'm answering the questions that people be having. So life insurance. Somebody explain this to me like a third grader. The terms term, whole, and universal. The pros and cons of each, and why should I get it? Sincerely, a mom in this specific.
Um, Pros and cons, like for a child
For
to have it,
anybody. Like, I
because
guess,
I would
like,
say pros and cons would be based on where
who?
you are in your life when you get this life insurance. So it's a huge difference. It's such a pro to get it as a child because the price is going to be pennies to the dollar. But if you're in your 60s when you retire and you just retired and realize, oh man, these benefits are not mine, they're staying with the company. Common misconception because no one's educating people. So that's why everybody is so confused about, oh, it's a scam. You weren't probably properly educated on what it was that you received or what story a person told you about what they received. They just did it because it sounded good or somebody told them they needed to do it rather than properly educating themselves on how whatever product they got worked. So, um for a term policy, it's a period of time that you have this large amount of coverage. It's going to be very inexpensive and it's going to take care, it's going to ensure all that you and your family are worth during a specific period of time.
Okay, so it could be like, if I have, it's me and one kid, it's like for the next 30 years.
Prime working years
Okay.
where your income is prime because you have a child that you got to pay for activities, clothes, food, trips, whatever it is. All of your income is going towards that. But as you get older into retirement, you should have like your 401k, IRA, or whatever it is that is your retirement vessel. This is supplemental to protect. It can be supplemental towards retirement, but this is for when you die. We're all going to die, and it's leaving behind all the things that you would have been able to do while you were still alive and more. Because with the term policy, a lot of people don't have living benefits on their term policy. They didn't even know that they can get living benefits on their term policy. So, what that means is if you are diagnosed with anything chronic, critical, or terminal, being cancer, what is the percentage of people that are walking around with cancer that are getting diagnosed every day with cancer?
A lot.
Um,
I don't even know the percent, but
if you lose sight from diabetes or whatever the diagnosis is that's like critical, and now you may want to take off break because mentally and physically you may not be well.
mhm.
Your life insurance can give you money that's more than what your income was to make sure that you can still keep your home going and get whatever treatment you may need and just have a peace of mind
Mhm.
while you're still alive. There are some whole life policies that does that as well. So term, a time frame, inexpensive. Um, Prime working years is what I like to like categorize it for. And then whole life, exactly what it says. It covers your entire life. You lock in your age because the price is based on your age and your health. Today, life insurance is going to be the cheapest that it's ever going to be for any person that decides to get it because they are the youngest they're going to be and they are probably the most healthiest that they're gonna be if you're younger, because obviously when we're younger we don't have as many natural causes and blood pressures and things of that nature that people kind of grow into having that is common.
Mhm.
So yeah, the sooner you get a whole life policy, you don't never have to worry about the rate going up. The coverage is locked in at whatever you decide to lock it in at. Premium locked in. And then a universal is also a whole life, but it is considerably like an investment because it does index like based on stocks. Oh, you are so playful.
He is. He's bad. He's
He's having
bad.
fun. I think he thinks my sweater is like him or something. But yeah. So there are different insurances that do different things, and you just kind of have to have the education to know what direction you need to go in. But you can have as many insurance policies as you want. So locking something down at an earlier age gives you a lot of leverage so that when it does come to that day, you can be leaving behind multi-millions to your family. And if you do just have like no children and you wanted to go to your nieces or nephews, it's still, your legacy that you're leaving behind.
You eating him up. I'm like, he ain't doing that to me. I'm like, you bad. So with the term insurance, because you said it's for this is your family's value for this amount of time. So what if nothing happens and it's been that amount of time? Like it's been the 30 years.
Yeah, so it's a term. So, I mean, that would be the only con that a person would be able to say is a con. But realistically, you had coverage for that time and you were paying pennies to the dollar. So, with that being said, you just kind of have to shift your mindset and say, I'm glad that I did have that coverage, just like a car insurance. You may not get into an accident, but at least you have the coverage because you don't know sometimes somebody else can hit you.
Yeah.
So that's really what that is and what it's
So the
about.
term is like the cheapest one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay. So then, but you think people should have all three if they can afford it?
Why not? Why not? Because they all do different things. So whole life, I forgot to mention, also has a cash value. So that's something that if you start that early enough for your children, they just may have a nice amount to put on a down payment when they're older. It just all depends on what you are investing into, the return you're trying to see. And I mean, so for me, the biggest thing with the term is like the living benefits. The whole life has that cash value, which is like your own loan system. In which yes, you use the money, you do have to pay it back, but it's at your on your timeline of how you pay it back. And it's not like you need a bank loan or whatever. That's your money and you return it how you want. If you don't return it, it kind of comes from the death benefit, which is another reason why it doesn't hurt to have multiple policies because you can use them to leverage so many different things as life.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So which policy, this is another question from the social medias.
Oh, okay.
Which one would you recommend to get for a kid? Let's say I want them to be able to get money for a down payment for a house.
Hmm.
And if it takes out, does it have to be paid back? Is there a penalty?
So yeah, that's sort of like what I just was hitting on. So yes, a whole life is locking them in for their age and their health. So it's gonna be like $9, and they're gonna have a nice amount of money. I mean, it also depends on what company you go with. But I know that my children to begin with at 15 days old, I got them a $50,000 policy. It's $9 for the rest of their lives. So if they never got another policy, they will have a $9 $50,000 whole life building cash value that they can decide if I want to use my cash value at 35 years old, I'm ready to buy a home, they can use it for that. Um it
And then
does,
they just won't have the policy anymore because they used it.
they'll still have the policy, the cash value. They
Oh,
won't have the policy if they decide not to pay the cash value back
okay.
into the policy.
So it's a down payment as a loan.
As a loan.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think people get confused. Is like a loan is important though. We need loans, right? Because the thing is, especially in black and brown communities, access to money and loans is less than other people. So like if I want to start a business, it as a black person, it's going to be harder for me to get accepted for a loan than somebody else. So it's important to be able to have access to this loan regardless. But people like this tweet specifically saying like a down payment for a house, girl, you need to specify. Do you think that they could just take this cash and not like necessarily pay, like you need to know what you're signing up for
Exactly.
so that you could use it right. Because to your point,
Mhm.
people talking about it's a scam, and it's like people who didn't educate you on that, which I'm sure some insurance brokers don't educate you, right? Because not everybody's ethical.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they're like, yeah, you could do it for that, and don't specify like, hey, they would pay back into it, but this is why this is still important. They might not get accepted for a loan, or they may get accepted for a loan that has a really high interest rate, or whatever the case may be, when it has such a high interest rate that it doesn't make it worth it anymore. So that makes sense to me, is like you're just increasing your access to funds.
And another thing that I like to kind of consider as like a little hack, um, if you have multiple insurances and you decide you take from your cash value or your loan system, your own loan system, is yours because it's on your life insurance. That's your own life. That's like you being your own bank. If you do not pay that money back, they will take it from your death benefit, which does that matter if you got another policy and another policy and another policy?
Yeah, again, it's
I'm
gonna
so
get,
sorry.
no, you're fine. I thought it was my phone. You're gonna get, you're gonna either pay it back or get it taken, but the key is the fact that you had access to it in the first place.
Huge.
Um, and if you take that money and you flip it into something that's very worthy, because you needed it to start a business, you needed a business loan, you have a brick and mortar business, you had
Absolutely. Exactly.
um
Oh my
inventory or
God, please.
whatever, or stuff that you had to pay for, like, and then you ended up selling that inventory and made money. Doesn't really matter that you got money taken away from your death benefit, because now you have more cash in case something does happen. Because really, it's all about, you want to be able to pay for that funeral.
Hmm.
Like,
It's more than that.
yeah, but you want to be able to pay for like
That's
the
the first part.
funeral, the other things that happen. Like, if you were the breadwinner for the family, like you were saying earlier, how are those people going to continue to survive for whatever expenses that they have? So if you've created enough cash to where they can survive or more, it's fine that some of that death benefit got taken away because you created this amount of money, but you just have to be strategic about it. Okay, so basically, like, and there's no penalty, basically, because that was one of the questions. It's not a penalty, it's just that you're gonna,
It'll come from the cash, the death benefit.
mm-hmm,
That's the penalty.
which
Yeah.
is like, okay, you didn't pay your loan back, you got, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Very big to have like an actual agent because a lot of things that I also found is that when people are like, "Yeah, I got insurance through my job," they don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I sure didn't.
So, depending on the job, the insurance may only cover you if you die at work. So you
Yeah,
technically don't have life insurance because
that's how mine was, I think. And I was like, yeah, because I don't have life insurance, so
it's okay.
I might need to
We're gonna
get
get you
that.
together.
Yeah, we gonna get me together.
That and not only that, some people also have insurance and they're like, "Oh, I got insurance," not knowing that it's accidental insurance. Only if you die by accident. So it's not covering the natural cause. So that's why I say it's so many different
Mm,
insurances and people are just getting it to be like, "Oh yeah, I got it." And the moment you mention it, they're like, "I got insurance. I'm good." Not even knowing what they have. So whether you have it or not, just like create the space to educate yourself and know what it is that you have
mm-hmm,
and be willing to fill in the gaps wherever they're needed. So
mm,
I do a needs analysis with every person that I sit with, and we go over what life look like for you now and what you want life to look like later, and how can we make sure you are financially secured when it comes to making sure all your debt is paid off, making sure that home is paid off if you don't have the home today, but you want it in the future, making sure that that still is in the coverage. Because again, it's planning, future planning. Because even if you don't have a house now and you know you want a house, you still are locking in life insurance at the age and the health that you are now. Because if you go to the doctor tomorrow and get a diagnosis, you can be declined from access to insurance. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be for the rest of your life, depending on what the diagnosis is.
mm-hmm,
So it's best to just be open minded and just when you have, and most people don't um get talk about insurance unless they're like, on a job and it's time to talk about benefits, somebody dies, then they're thinking about it. Or if a broker like me approaches them and try to talk to them. Outside of that, that's not a everyday conversation that people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, get some education about life insurance, or I'm gonna go see what new life insurance is out there. Like, it's not one of those things.
Mhm.
So when a person like approaches you, kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna hear you out. It's education at the end of the day. If you don't
Mhm.
get anything, you still be educated and kind of know.
What's out there?
Hmm.
Now, another question from the social media. Why is there a deductible if I pay a premium?
Who said it was a deductible? This is not car insurance. This is not insurance on the phone. What? Where did the deductible come in at?
So it ain't no deductible.
Oh my goodness, where did that come from? You pay your premium, done. You die, you get a check. You have a diagnosis of cancer, you get a check. Like, and not just cancer. It's a list. Anything chronic, critical, terminal. So yeah, no deductible.
Okay. Now this one is aggressive.
Okay.
If cash value life insurance is so great, how come no one has actually ever retired off of it? Seriously, where are the people living tax free off their IULs and whole life policies? Where are the success stories? Where's the proof? Because it doesn't exist. People retire with stocks, EFTs, real estate, and business income, not overpriced life insurance contracts with hidden fees and loan traps. Stop calling it a retirement plan. It's a commission scheme.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for anybody who misled you and made you think that it was a retirement plan, because it's not. It's supplement to retirement. That amount that you acquire from your cash value, or your IUL. But again, it is not primarily an investment vehicle. We do have insurances with annuities. And those I typically like to, anybody can have one. First of all, let me say that my children have it. Um, but I like to offer that to state employees, government employees, postal workers, because they have a thrift account. Like, they have all these things that's working for them as government employees, and they don't even know that they lose 75% of that when they retire. That's my education, because I watch webinars and podcasts and all these things to educate myself on everything insurance. It's my industry. It's what makes me a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how I can help you use it as a supplement, not as a vehicle. But an annuity is also, annuity has the annuity savings as well as the cash value as well as the life insurance, depending on what company you go with.
Mm-hmm.
So and that you don't have to pay back. That's your actual money.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got the cash value, which is your loan system. So they can do so many different things. You just have to have the proper education about what's what and how it works
And what it's not, because
and what is not.
it's not these things. And if you go to somebody who's ethical, they're not going to tell you, yeah, you going to retire off of this. And also, the thing I liked about this one is that, like, people retire with stocks, EFTs, real estate, and business income. It's like, no, like, yes and no. Like, stocks aren't going to help you retire, to be honest. Like, none of these things alone are making you retire. You have to have
A
a
portfolio. You have to know what's
portfolio
going on for
of
sure.
things and a diversified income stream.
Hmm.
That's what's going to help you retire comfortably. Okay.
Glad
Last,
we got that one out of the way.
yeah, that one, I read it, and because, like, I don't have an opinion, because I don't have, well, coming into it, I didn't have an opinion. I was very open minded one way or the other, because I don't have life insurance, and I've never gone to educate myself one way or the other. So, but seeing that, I was like, from the things I know about finance and financial education, I'm like, you don't sound, your tweet doesn't sound educated. So I'm not going to necessarily trust what you're saying about life insurance, because it doesn't really seem like you know
Yeah.
basic things, which is fine, but don't come out here so confident and saying this and that when you don't know. Because
Yeah.
I don't come out here being confident saying life insurance is good or is bad because I know I don't know. Like, know what you know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And leave it at that. And if you got questions,
Eh,
ask.
for sure.
Don't be coming out here making these declarations talking about it's a commission scheme. Because anything that people do, people are going to take advantage, right? There's going to be life insurance brokers that are scamming, just like there's going to be financial advisors that are scamming.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, they have the MLM, the marketing people, multi-level marketing, whatever people that do stuff. Like, there's going to be people that are scamming and everything. It doesn't really matter what it is, life insurance included. But don't take your miseducation and put it up on here and then convince people who may need life insurance to not get it when it actually might have been a good decision for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sucks. And I just hope
exactly.
that everybody use their own mind when making decisions.
Or ask, like, because, like, if I was relying on social media to get it, I would ask, like, clarifying questions. Also, we all have ChatGPT at this point. Like, I don't understand. Like, we
We
can
love
all
chat.
get answers if we really want to be educated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So last like tweet, I paid $100 a month for universal life insurance for a decade. I could have been paying into a Roth IRA this entire time. SMH. Am I an idiot?
Yes and no. You're an
Give it
idiot
to a
because you
real.
did
Give it to
not
a real.
educate your own self on something you were putting your money into.
Period.
Because when it comes to that, you have to know when to pull your money out to get the highest rate of return. And $100 is not a lot to even be putting into an IUL to get a large return. It's something. Um, but I would start at like 500 a month into an IUL to get the return that I would like to see. And that's a starting point. They can really, really work for you if you know how to use it, because it is based on stocks. So yeah, you kind of have to know when to pull out.
So basically, this person should have been like, okay, maybe this $100 a month ain't gonna get me what I want for
Well,
this
so
specific
and
kind of
two,
policy.
because I said yes and no, it's not their fault that whoever signed them up for that did not do their due
A good job,
diligence.
because for if you only have $100 a month, maybe a Roth IRA would have been a better choice for you if you only were gonna put $100 a month.
Or annuity.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of depends. We got to talk about it.
You
Like,
have to
what are
know.
you trying to do with this money? How did you come up with this number? That's why you need a agent that is ethical and that's going to ask you those questions. Because if you like, oh, it just sound good, then like, okay, you might not get a benefit because it sound good. You have
Right.
to know what you're using it for. We have to know where these numbers are coming from,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Now, there was some other questions that Prevail sent me on life insurance, and I wanted to ask a couple of them. So, why do you think in Black communities there's like this distrust of financial institutions, and how do you think it plays into like us actually going to get life insurance?
Hmm. Honestly, I'm one of those people that kind of don't like to go back into the past and answer questions about stuff I don't really know the answer to, because
Mhm.
a lot of people, similar to the TikTok and tweets and stuff, people just take word of mouth and run with it and don't do their own
Mhm.
educating. That's just like judging a book by its cover or anything else you do where you misjudge something or someone.
Mhm.
I have no idea why, like, I don't know, realistically.
I think it comes from a systemic distrust of the government and financial institutions because we've been burned. And I think it makes sense. I I understand where it comes from, but then to your point, if you do the actual research or you talk with someone who's educated on life insurance, that's actually a way to protect you, because before what I was saying on like people of color have less access to loans or getting a mortgage and things like that. They will get turned down a lot more. So that goes into distrust of financial institutions. But from what you're telling me now, I have an understanding of life insurance. They're not going to, once you have that policy, they can't be like, actually, we're going to decide you can't take your money out now to get this house. Like, they can't do that. Whereas with traditional loans and access to money, they can do that based on you being black. Does that make sense? So it's like, I get where the distrust comes from, but life insurance sounds like it's actually one of those ways that you can get protected.
It is. And back in the day, the agents used to like door knock, go door to door and just knock and see
Mhm.
if they can get a person that's interested. And if you
Mhm.
were a closed-minded person slamming your door in people's face, not opening the door, then you're missing out on opportunity. So that's why
Mhm.
I say you kind of got to be open-minded. If a person like mentions something, at least like you use your own discernment to say, hear them out. Use your discernment as to whether or not you feel like it's good and it can work for you. And if you have questions, please ask. Like that's gonna let you know too. If you got questions and they can't answer them, then maybe there is some type of scheme or something going on there.
Mhm. So it's like they need to be able to, it's really about the person that you work with, making sure that you have trust in them
Mhm.
and that they can answer your questions and that they're asking you questions, not just like basic, oh, what policy do you want? Like they're asking you, what are your needs? Doing a needs analysis, XYZ.
Mhm.
Okay. What, for anyone who is thinking of working with someone, what are key ways that you think they could realize if they're working with a scammer?
If they're really quick, like, and number one, if they ask you what you want instead of telling you what you need based on the questions that they ask you. If it's too quick, oh yeah, we can do this real quick. If they're not like getting you to a point where you are thinking like, dang, can I even get this? Something may not be like happening the way it should because some you do have to be approved for life insurance. So if they're just making it seem like, okay, let's write this up, and at no point do you stop and think like, okay, yeah, you might be healthy, but I do got asthma or whatever the case. Like if at no point during that process, because you have to be asked health questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and some companies do let you go without asking help questions, and this is a good one that just came to mind. So like a lot of people watch the commercials. Oh, you can get, this amount for $10 a month, no questions asked. Why would I give you all this money for $10 a month, no questions asked? Have you ever seen those commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the flyers that come in the mail, all that type of stuff. That's a scheme because in the back end they're going to do all of the checks that you would have wanted them to do on the front end and just decline you because now you're dead and gone and your family has to deal with, oh, they didn't get the insurance because when they did the health screening on the back end, they wouldn't have been able to get it on the front end anyways. Oh.
Yeah. So there do be scamming people. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good way to know, like, okay, like
And I
they
wouldn't even
should
say
be
it's a
asking you.
scam, but
I mean, it is because it's misleading you.
it's
That stuff.
misleading. It's misleading because if you don't have anything wrong, then it will pay out. But like
Yes,
we
and
need to know this
anything
in the
that's
front.
misleading to me is a scam because it's purposely misleading you. It's doing it
Yeah.
on purpose. It's not by accident. It's like if I say like, "Oh yeah, I want to put the joint over there," but you don't know what joint means. It's like I'm not intentionally misleading you,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
something that I'm doing to make you sign up,
Mhm.
knowing that you might get denied. That's you're scamming by misleading.
It's okay, and then so with those things is why I try not to like think so negatively about it because had you paid your money into it, you'll get that money back, and some companies will give you like 10% in addition to whatever you paid.
Mm-hmm.
So you get something, and for a lot of people, it's more than they would have saved on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, yeah, yes, and no.
But then it's like building the mistrust of people who are doing work like
And then
you.
that's where those skeptics come from. So
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
It's
you're
like
right.
it's damaging. I do not excuse those people.
Mm,
They're damaging,
those
and
companies, yeah,
they can
I get it, I get
kick
it.
rocks.
So I think that just answered our other question then.
Yeah, I'm like they can kick rocks. They
Yeah.
can kick rocks, in my personal opinion, because everything is about who you can exploit. Um, with those types of people. And then when people get exploited, then they miss out on actual good opportunities that exist because they got exploited and now they're worried and now they're scared.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So then I got exploited. So now I'm telling my cousin, my uncle, my aunt, guess what happened to me? This happened. Don't sign up for that stuff. They're scamming.
Yeah.
Right? And if I have this real experience that happened to me,
And I get that. I
yeah.
do.
So it's like, but it's sad because I think everybody deserves the chance to learn about the life insurance
Mhm.
opportunities that are out there, but some just never will because of people who are out there being misleading and exploiting folks with
I really
the
hate that.
sale of a dream.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Okay. Now,
You had to sit up for that one.
right, because I get into it when it comes about like misleading, scamming, harming our communities. I'm really passionate about that stuff.
Yeah.
It don't.
And surprisingly, I have no, in my 8 years, I have no clients that have like shut me down because they had been burned in another way. They may have known of situations like that and they'll ask me like, how can they be ensured that I'm protecting them from stuff like that? So that's why I say I become a part of my client's family because I really take the time to help them trust me. I want to trust you too
Mhm.
because I don't want you to get this and I spend all my time writing this up, getting to know you and da da da, and then you like let it lapse. We're not doing that. We're not letting our policies lapse. We're communicating if something comes up. Hey, you know you got some money in your savings of your life insurance. Do you need some so that you're not falling behind on bills and things like that? You got to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable and we don't talk about stuff and we don't get to know each other, then yeah, like stuff happens that is unfortunate.
Mhm. Now, what would you say to a 25-year-old single woman who is making $40,000 a year? Do you think that they should have life insurance?
Of course.
Okay. Even though they don't have kids.
100%.
Okay.
Somebody got to take care of their remains when it comes down to it.
Mhm.
And if you get diagnosed with something at 26,
Mhm.
you want to make sure you got something so you can still have 40K plus to
Mhm.
take care of everything you've acquired as a 25-year-old woman navigating the world. So, yeah.
Okay. How can people, because I have a feeling that people are going to want to work with you after watching this, because I mean, I don't know, you give me this vibe of like I can come to you, I can trust you, I can know that you're going to actually take the time to listen to what I want and what I need and figure out what's best for me, and you're going to be honest on if maybe I won't get approved for a policy even. So, where can people find you
Oh, you can just
to come?
call me. Call
Okay.
me. You hear my phone ringing. Call me, please. I'm working on building my social media presence, but I'm not like a big scroller because so many other things come up and I would rather be putting in place policies like doing the real work, straightforward, having real conversations. Call me 708-904-8585.
Oh, that's an easy number.
It is. That's my business number because it's so easy.
Oh, I like that. Period. Okay,
Call
and it will
me,
also
text
be
me,
in the description as well.
please.
Yes.
Yes.
Call, text.
Call me, beat me. If you want to reach me, you want to reach me, it's okay.
Do,
If I
do,
don't
do, do.
answer, you can leave a message, send a text. I'll call you back for sure, for sure.
Period.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Like, subscribe, follow to the podcast. I Love You But Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, all the places, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and educating us. I feel like you did it without hurting nobody's feelings. I probably hurt more people's feelings than you. But thank you. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.